I want to look again at adding action to dialogue. One of the things that you have to do is look around a room and see what's going on, not just what your two characters are doing. So I want to read at the beginning of this. It's a good example of somebody trying to add action. Gabby, can I have my chair back, please, and thank you? I said, as my face dropped, wondering why she was being so rude. So our writer tried to add some action, but it wasn't really quite enough for me as a reader to get the big picture. So if I add more about what's going in the room around me, I looked around the table hoping that one of my other friends would stand up for me, but they all looked off in the other direction so that they didn't have to make eye contact with me. So I had to think about what was it that I would see around the room. Notice that it does really help to add length, but it also adds a balance so that it's not so much dialogue on its own, but there's some action. In the next one, this isn't your chair. Does it have your name on it? Oh, okay, thought so, Gabby said, pulling a chair a little more toward her. So I, as the author, again have to think, what is it that makes her think that this is her chair and that she can be as rude as she's being? And so for me, I was thinking, well, if somebody's wearing really name brand stuff, then they somehow think they're hot stuff. So I added, she emphasized her point by putting her feet up on the chair. Somehow she seemed to think that her Jordans earned her the right to be a brat. So notice that, again, I've got the length, I've got you seeing her, what she's doing, and understanding a bit more about her motivation for why she's doing it. I don't have to add dialogue to absolutely every, I don't have to add action to absolutely every example of dialogue. So if you look here, it says, but I really want to eat and I have no chair to sit in. I said, stepping a bit closer to her. I can leave that as is, but then when I get to the next one, then maybe I add some action. So here, I'm going to put, she sprang up out of her chair and jumped in my direction. No, you're not getting this chair back, Gabby said, stepping in my face. So now I've got this confrontation between the two girls. One of the things I was hoping to do is to get you all to add more figurative language. That's how I can justify giving you a 5, which again is an A on the paper. So being more specific and then adding figurative language. So I walked away and went to go tell the teacher. How about I walked across the cafeteria and ignored a sea of curious faces as I went to tell the teacher in the lunchroom. Miss Petier said, tapping her shoulder. Okay, and then of course I want to look pathetic. So I tried to put on my best puppy dog face so that she would feel sorry for me. Now what I want you to notice is even just looking at the paper, you can see that there's more of a balance. You can see that it's not all those short little dialogues where you have just one piece of dialogue after another, that it's more developed because I need as a writer to create a picture in my reader's mind. If my reader cannot see the picture, if they just hear these talking voices, they're far more likely to disengage with my story.